But not only that, here's what really shocked me. Is we had a TV monitors going all the time, and we had it on, in Chicago, there was a local investment channel, Channel 26, and it was very much like CNBC now, but it was a lot less sophisticated. And, you know, so we'd watch as people would come on the show and with various, you know, have various interviews and that sort of thing. And I'm watching one morning, and there's this vice president from Heinhold, which is now doesn't exist anymore, but they were one of the biggest hog and meat producers in the Midwest back in the 80s. And this vice president from Heinhold is being interviewed by, you know, the guy on Channel 26, and he's talking about how, you know, how people got to get into live hogs and pork bellies because prices are going up, and, you know, and he's just going on and on about what a great investment it is. And really, and here, and this would happen quite frequently, by the way, but this was just an example, and then all the phones started lighting up. These are all the people in the Chicago area, the typical, you know, the traders in the Chicago area that are listening to this guy, because I say that because the phones are lighting up and all the brokers are starting to take orders to buy bellies and buy hogs. And I'll think, well, you know, that was pretty impactful, right? Oh, gee, and then on Squawk Box, guess who's taking the other side of those orders? Heinhold. They needed somebody to come in and take the other side of their orders. What does a mathematical formula have to do with that? Now, as it just so happens, if my math is working in a way where I happen to get in at that moment, I end up in a winning trade, well, that's great. But that doesn't mean I can rely on it to do the same thing the next time. Okay, I explained hedging, reverse auction. In a normal auction, this is what I'm talking about dynamic traders right now. In a normal auction, what do people do in a normal auction? In other words, if you're in a situation where things or items are up for bid, when you bid, when you're outbidding somebody, what are you doing? You're eliminating the competition, right? In other words, by bidding higher, you're hopefully eliminating anybody else who'll bid higher than you. Hedgers and commercials and dynamic traders create what I call a reverse auction. They'll bid a market up or offer it lower to try to attract the public into the market to take the other side of their trades. You guys with me on this? They will bid a market up or offer it lower as a reverse auction. That doesn't mean that they want the market can go higher, but their immediate objective is that if they're bidding it up, it means that they want to sell. They just want someone to take the other side of their trades. So they're actually creating a reverse auction, attracting people into the market, because as the market goes up, people are thinking, okay, I'm going to be missing out, and I've got the assurance that I need that it's going to keep on going, and so they get sucked into this move, and then they slam them with a huge order. Now, see, I had intimate contact with all of that at Merrill Lynch. I really, not only that, I mean, because I knew the floor traders, I knew many of the floor traders who actually created the movement that particular day. And there were a number of times where the movement was significant and they were fast markets and, enough to attract the media to the exchange. And, and they put a microphone in front of their mouth and, they definitely would say something that was palatable to the public. In other words, what was reasonable. I can guarantee you that the reason why they did what they did during the day had nothing to do with what they said. Nothing. There was no relationship whatsoever. Go ahead.
I fully understand your concept of the movement that's taking place because of dynamic players. And I can understand how that would relate to the commodity, stock, and stock options market. But can you have the same effect in, say, the foreign currency market, where it's a much bigger market that's traded worldwide?
It just depends on the player. Absolutely. You get a central bank that starts unloading something, and then it's gonna have a major impact on the market. Yes. But you've got basically what you have is a situation where this market's so large, it's so liquid, that it would be very difficult for individuals to have any impact on it. Is that what you're saying to me? Is that what you're...
Well, I wasn't necessarily limiting it to individuals. I mean, even a central bank
It just,
on the world market, could they have that kind of an impact?
well, it's what I call the pebble in a pond effect. Okay, they might not have enough. They might not have enough impact initially. Okay, initially to do something. Okay, to have that meaningful, to create that meaningful of a price move. But you've got a pebble in a pond, which is the way a lot of prices move anyway. Because it's like what you got is you drop a pebble in a pond. Well, if it's, you know, it creates waves, does it not? Okay. And what I found is that, especially with floor traders, and really the same kind of dynamics work even with off the floor traders in the general market itself. I found that what you had is that most floor traders did not know what they were doing, in the sense that they didn't have a real good reason for buying or selling at any given moment, other than the fact that they were following the lead of other people who they thought did have an idea of what they're doing. So what ends up happening is that what you've got is the guy, the trader who's confident, knows exactly what he's doing, why he wants to do it, and does it. And then you got all the other guys who are, let's say, in the pit, okay, who are closest to this particular, this guy might be on this step right here, who are closest to this guy, that will mimic what he does. And then what it does is it starts spreading out. And that as word gets out, okay, the guys at the farthest end up getting prices that are greatly diminished in relationship to this particular individual. But the point is, it's kind of like the pebble in a pond. A central bank could create the same thing. In other words, initially, a central bank hitting the market with a huge order might be absorbed, but the fact that the central bank is doing it will cause other people to want to do it too, and therefore, as a result of all the other traders who pile on, it creates a huge move. Does that make sense? Okay, we're moving right along here.